And moving into our top 5 segment, we've got article number 1. And this comes from T0. We've got a couple important pieces of news coming from T0, and we wanted to rapid fire them for you because you just couldn't miss it. Starting it off is the fact that they're going to be listing the Liquid Mining Fund, the second one, on their marketplace platform. This is a fund launched by Realty, this week's sponsor. And Liquid Mining Fund essentially is a fund that funds Bitcoin mining operations to generate returns on it. They launched the first fund about $1 million and returned 50% back to LPs. They're now raising $15 million to do the exact same thing, and now it's going to be listed on T0. On top of that, T0 continued with some great news from their earnings call last week. Fortunately, they invited me on there to speak on their Q&A, and they said they're going to be listing 3 to 6 additional assets in the next 3 to 6 months, hopefully. I mean, they've been saying that for a little while, but it's great news that they're really paying a lot of attention towards driving more adoption to that. And then the final bombshell that they dropped, Herwig, was that they are potentially going to be SPACing T0. This is some crazy news. They're fundraising right now, and on top of that, they've explored restructuring the T0 token to provide additional added value to shareholders. So there's a ton of news coming out of T0. They're still working really hard. Don't think that they've just fallen by the wayside.
Huge moves. We know that Exodus and now Liquid Mining are likely 2 of those 6. We don't have much info on the other 4, but really great news to see more and more listings happening in the space, specifically on T0.
Absolutely.
Now, number 2, what you need to know is the NBA Top Shots platform has finally, I think we all could probably expected it, been sued. So that's right, a class action lawsuit is claiming that NBA Top Shots moments, NFTs that you can purchase linking to digital moments from NBA games, are actually considered securities, and therefore Dapper Labs, the firm behind NBA Top Shots, not the NBA itself. In fact, the NBA was not at all tagged in the lawsuit whatsoever, just the technology provider Dapper for illegally not registering securities for these NFTs and obviously not complying with the according regulation. So that's a really big deal. This is exactly what happened back in 2017 when we saw the ICO phenomenon rise and quickly get shuttered by regulators for, in fact, doing the same exact thing, not registering securities despite that ICOs being qualified as such. And now NFTs may fall under the same regime. This is a big case because of the potential implications that are involved for other NFT issuers. In fact, we may already start to see more lawsuits fly simply just because we saw this one come out, even though it may or may not have any merit. What's certainly the case is it does look like it's going to be a serious one with many different case law attached to it beyond just ICOs. There's a great article that you can go check out in the resources from the podcast.
Absolutely. This is fascinating. And if you join into our Clubhouse conversation, which we do on Thursdays at 5 p.m. through the Security Token Speakeasy channel, you would know that we actually discussed this in extensive detail with a couple securities lawyers who told us pretty much the same thing, that it is a little bit fishy that you're selling something and having that trading marketplace all in the same platform that tends to make it look like an investment, that you're selling some kind of investment contract. So we'll have to see. This is going to be, as you said, setting some real precedent moving forward.
What's even more interesting is this case is actually taking place in the New York state courts, not in the federal courts, which may mean something regarding case law and the regulation around New York and how that might affect this entire case. Meanwhile, Kyle, let's get into number 3, where actually we're talking about Realty and their newly planned governance token. Can you share a little bit more?
Yeah, so you may recognize the name Realty. They've got a ton of real estate properties that they've actually successfully tokenized. They sell each individual property, which then generates a return paid in the DAI stablecoin back to issuers, 10 to 12%, pretty exciting deals. They tend to sell out really quickly. They've done 94 to date. So this is no small issuer here.
11 million in 15 months.
Pretty crazy stuff. They're based out of Boca here in South Florida. And Realty has announced that they're actually going to be launching a governance token. They're launching a fully decentralized network here to potentially decide some of these governance pieces, maybe on the management side, maybe on the fee structure side. They haven't announced exactly how the structure is going to work, whether they're going to be launching a decentralized autonomous organization to make any choices, but they have announced that the SOON token, SOON token, is going to be coming soon via an airdrop to shareholders, and we're going to have to see what comes out from here.
Yeah, token holders will be potentially entitled to some SOON tokens, and those SOON tokens are expected to then one day be traded in for, of course, the actual governance token. I don't think they plan to stick to Soon as their official governance token there. So we don't have much more to share about the actual functionality, but if you are a Realty holder or even interested, there's potentially some extra bang for your buck now, as governance tokens are a planned thing.
Absolutely. What's number 4?
Number 4, we've got SDAX. That's the Singapore Digital Assets Exchange merging with Minterest. So Minterest is actually sort of the issuance platform, and SDAX is the actual marketplace. And together, they believe that they can team up and take over their jurisdiction. They actually have approval from the MAS, and actually to date, they've actually helped projects raise over $190 million. So now that the two can come together, they can offer both primary issuance as well as secondary trading under one single security token solution. And that's a big deal because we expect that to happen a lot more. It's a much faster way to market and to bring all the pieces together. We'll see how the merger ultimately goes through.
Singapore, yet again, just driving that adoption. They're on the cutting edge. Very, very exciting stuff. They want to build a full ecosystem here, from deal origination to fundraising to security issuance, as well as through the secondary trading. So they're really trying to cover the whole map here, bring issuers through the ecosystem, and make it as simple as possible for an analog issuer to bring these tokens to market.
Powerful value proposition for anyone considering security tokens. And now let's get to number 5, eBay, which is actually also getting into the NFT game. And that's the big news. You'll soon be able to, at least trusted sellers, be able to leverage the eBay platform to start getting into NFTs. And as some of the executives at eBay said, they're always on the forefront. When a new trend happens, it somehow pops up on eBay for purchase. And so they see nothing different with NFTs here.
So I feel like they missed the opportunity here to launch NFT Bay. Like that's kind of the, but yeah, so they're going to be launching NFTs. Anybody, will be able to buy and sell through there. Will they provide a competitive platform to OpenSea or Rarible or some of these other platforms that are already those marketplaces established in the NFT space? They also are exploring accepting cryptocurrency as payment through their platform.
Big deal.
So it's a very big deal, especially if you could use stablecoin. I think that's really the biggest draw for a lot of people right now, is potentially using stablecoins to pay for things. And if that becomes a possibility, now it starts to get interesting.
I think the key question that's on top of maybe all of our minds is how much will this NBA Top Shot lawsuit potentially slow down the launch of such a platform with eBay? Only time will tell.
And with that, we're going to translate and move right into your industry news segment.
Let's do it.